I didn't get up for church this morning. Sort of a method to my madness because I don't really like going on the holidays, the American holidays. And this might be new information presented to you right here today. You know this information, you just never formulated it. And it may be the first time it's being presented to you. So, what I want to talk to you about today is, and it connects to the reason why I didn't want to go up to church this morning. It was from a George Carlin HBO show where he said there's some kids who, when they get older, they figure it out. They have the secret to the universe. And that secret to the universe, I know when you don't have it, when you don't have it down. And it's sort of like a pendulum. You sort of hit it, you survey it, you get close to it. But this idea of nationalism and the celebration of, like, I want to play to my strengths and not put anybody out over this, because everybody loves the American dream and all this wonderful fa-la-la-la-la. But I do believe that it's incompatible with the secret to the universe. And I'll tell you why. I have some animals here. We'll pretend that this is a person, or any living thing. And I'll show you perception and sensations of how things work. See, inside you're constantly thinking, but outside you project like this world. And I'm going to use that word sort of like Moses, do not covet. This is more of an Eastern term because it makes more sense to me. Projection. What's outside of me I cannot control. So everything that goes on inside of me, I'm in control of. But when I project other characters and other things into my Bambi world, that's when you lose control. You cannot control the things that are outside of you. And this is where you can either have the secret to the universe or not. I'm going to use a few terms like wet behind the ears, sort of like a wise man looks, like keep trying little boy, keep trying little boy. And he's trying with all his might, he's pushing everything, throwing everything around. I'll use my mind power, I'll use everything I can to get as far as I can into this universe, as far as I can go. I'm going to work harder. Work harder, work harder, work harder. And all the while, there's this wise old man who sits there, and he's like a sage or something, and he's like, one day you will understand the secret to the universe. Well, I'll tell you, one way that you deviate at first from that secret of the universe is through this projection. You see other things, and things don't go your way. So you're afraid of how things are going to react. That's where projection starts, is a fear inside you. And then, like, you know, you walk up to the fawn, and you're like, hey girl, you know, how do we relate our experiences when our minds cannot actually touch each other? So what it does is this fear, in the open time, it leads to competition. You see, competition starts with a fear. It's this fear that you can never get close enough. You can never get close enough. And out of that mentality is how we get this military celebration. It's these, when you're born, you have that mentality. Through strength, through my physical power, through my mental powers, I can gain all I want to gain, but I have to try really hard. I have to make myself really sweaty. I have to basically kill myself for my cause, for my country, for whatever it may be. And this is how it gets backwards. Because this nationalism is a psychological illness. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what countries you believe in, and whatnot. Because you were just born in fairly recently on the time scale of life. Wherever you wound up, you wound up. But this is a grander picture playing out of projection. We're burning the trees down so we can make paper to write things to get money. We're destroying even our projections. We're fighting even among each other. And it's all because of a fear. A fear of what goes on inside us, and a fear that we cannot project out. So here's how it works. Grandpa's in the military. Grandpa's in the military. The kids are born. The kids are like, we're proud to be what we are. We're proud of America. We're proud of all this. We're proud of all this. We're proud of all this. And so the kid says, you know what? I want to be just like Grandpa. So I'm going to become a cop, make the law. I'm going to join the military, wear the suit, and go overseas because I want to fight for my country. And there's this great group projection celebration over what's going on. See, and part of it is you can't see what's behind the page. You see what's in front of you, but you don't know what's going on. See, we're proud to be American because we're prosperous. We have the freedom and the Bill of Rights and all the amendments and whatnot. But the whole paradigm is what we say we want to protect our borders. But overseas, the whole world is running under an American paradigm right now. The UN, the Masonic, follow Allah, everybody, you have to initiate to be a part of the club. It is that same I'm proud to be American celebration. That is why there's people overseas starving. That is why there are borders. That is why we have enemies. And it comes from that we can't love each other. We can't, oh, you're just so wonderful and all that soft stuff. It's all a front. It's a blockade. You see, and people are going to teach you and they're going to tell you that what you're doing is good. But really, they're celebrating this notion of bigger weapons, bigger machinery, when one person's at war, the whole world's at war. You see, and it has to work with everybody. The idea of bravery is totally flipped, is totally not true. See, you may think it's brave that I'm going to use my time to run myself breathless, destroy my body, and you'll say, you know what, you weren't there. What one person says pride, and people start celebrating for you, they're celebrating the blockade of their own fears. It's not good. It's you know, you're gonna always have people saying this to you that, oh, we're so proud that you wear that veteran's hat. We're so proud that we take our hats off afterwards. And there's no compatibility with the laws of the universe and these mentalities. I mean, construction only comes from deconstruction, but there's a maturity that you come to that you see the way the media is portraying things, and you see the way things are lining up, and you know that if you were in the country that you're proud to be fighting against, you would be just like that country. I don't want to discredit, but a real brave person is someone who can stand up to that whole energy mentality. We're proud to be an American, and we support military action, we support this and that and this and that and this and that, and yet one person stands up and that energy's pushing. It's a process that you have to be I guess a bad guy in your day if you're ever going to understand. I mean, there's people, it's the college conspiracy too, that as soon as you're born, you're put into this government-powered education system that the kids don't really think as they're growing up. They just sort of study their time the way school's supposed to, and then they follow the same path that everybody does in life, and they think, I'm an American, this is really good. But you think all the money that's being spent on Wall Street, all the money that's being spent in the government, and all the people in the world right now who suffer from poverty, and their world's not developed, they have all these diseases, and you think, okay, everybody in my projection, everybody in my forest is saying, you know what, and this is at church, because there's a lot of military veterans. People are brought up thinking that nationalism accompanies, the God, Jesus message, that somehow they are compatible. If you're in America, it's compatible with America. If you're in Ethiopia, it's compatible with Ethiopia. If you're in Mexico, it's compatible with Mexico. And so they sing songs, oh, God bless America. And it has to do with making the rich people richer by the people who don't understand what they're doing, but they're trying to get ahead. They're trying to compete because they're insecure inside. And I know the body has all kinds of defense mechanisms, but that's supporting the projection. It's just sad that the people participating are just flushed under brain, like that's all they know. So they're like, whoa, celebration, fireworks, blow everything up, and yet there's a principle involved that so much could be helped out if we don't support what is weakness. It's if you think attack thoughts, you get attack thoughts back. And that's why war is so prevalent and nationalism. So when George Carlin says some people, they figure it out once they're, it's almost about forgetting, you can't put words to it. It has to be that inner feeling. It's where you do everything from an inner direction and not be influenced by the projection of fear. All right, so that is what I wanted to do today. I think everybody knows that to a certain extent, that we're all supporting each other's anxieties on a global scale. And when everybody says, I'm proud to be an American, they're sort of like, I like celebrating the holidays. I like getting together and eating hot dogs and setting off fireworks and stuff like that. But, I mean, I just want to throw that out there amongst the American stuff that has nothing to do with America. It's the whole world. I wouldn't say I'm proud to be a this, I'm proud to be a that. I just sort of am.